Hi, everybody, and welcome. Wow, what a gathering. That's really nice. This year's keynote lecture, I need to say, is sponsored by Radagast Pet Food. A little bit of background, Dr. Ihor Basko is actually a Michigan State grad. I didn't know that. With focus in internal medicine, cardiology, and bone surgery. Began his studies of Chinese medicine and acupuncture in 1974. By participating with the UCLA doing medical research on acupuncture to treat paralysis. Go figure. Yeah. So at the same time, he started his studies in Western herbology. So by the time 1977 rolled around, he was part of IVAS, the International Society, Veterinary Acupuncture Society, where he was teaching acupuncture, herbology, and nutrition. His nutrition studies are based on Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese food therapy, and macrobiotic cooking for personal use. And I gotta say, following some of his cooking, I am standing here today. So that's a wonderful thing. We don't treat ourselves well enough. He's been devoted to the study and practice of acupuncture, Western and traditional Chinese medicine, herbology, dietary therapy, homeopathy, trigger point therapy, and other alternative therapies. He's one of the founders of the Veterinary Botanical Medical Association and among the founding members of the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association. He's also a member of the Research Advisory Board of the National Animal Supplement Council, which many of us recognize now as the little NASC label on products of quality. His mission is to provide loving support and healing to pets and their families using the safest and most natural method. He incorporates an understanding of nutrition with the healing principles of Eastern medicine to create a holistic program that strengthens the immune system on all levels. He's a sole proprietor and owner of All Creatures Grain and Small, located in Hawaii. He also hosts Pets, People, in Paradise that is now streaming, so you can online it at kkcr.org. And I am very, very honored to bring to you today as our keynote speaker the years and experience and the wisdom of Dr. Ihor Basko.
Thank you, Janelle. Well, good afternoon, konnichiwa, and aloha. Thank you for being here. Yes, I just want to acknowledge you people for just being a wonderful vibe here of just friends and old and new people, and to take the time and energy to leave your practice and your home and your family and come here and learn more and learn from each other, basically what we do. And this is not going to be like a learning, you have to take notes, but if you have a piece of paper, you'll need it for one of the exercises that's coming up. So it'd be nice to have a piece of paper, so you can do that. But I basically want to start with a little meditation so we can kind of get grounded first, because our minds are just filled with so many things that we want to like open up some other parts of our body that we might not remember. So I would like to introduce my wife, Jane Winter, and she's going to do some of the work that we're going to do talking, and she's going to do the meditation to get us all grounded. Thank you, Jane. Yeah.
Aloha, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for wanting to expand beyond what you're already aware of and maybe find out some places that you've been limiting yourself. This is going to be a personal seminar. We don't have a PowerPoint. So let's begin by gathering our energies all together and just centering down. So if you just want to take some deep breaths, get everything out of your lap, relax, close your eyes if you feel comfortable with that. And just begin to follow your breath, dropping in. Time to check your own messages. Time to tune into your own intuition and your own knowing and your own guidance. Feel your feet on the ground. And imagine the soles of the bottom of your feet opening up and connecting all the way down to the center of Mother Earth. Take a deep breath and breathe in her energy, from the center of the earth up through the soles of your feet, all the way up throughout your body. And just follow that loving energy of Mother Earth. Feel yourself being held, nurtured, and loved by the earth. And let your energy travel to the top of your head and beyond your body. Begin to feel yourself expanding out and up. Can you feel all the unseen beings that are here in the room to help us for the highest good today for each person and each practice and each animal that you treat? So let's just invite in our angels, our guides, our spirit animals, our totems. Hawaiians call it amakua. All your ancestors, all the ancestors that have gone beyond you and stand behind you when you do your practice and when you relate to the animals. And we invite them in, and we bring the energy down through the top of our heads, all the way into your heart. So bring the energy up from the earth and down from the heavens, and feel your heart opening like a flower. And allow yourself to feel the love and the support that's in this room for you today, in this moment, right now. Because as we know, it's all about love. So just breathe that in for a couple deep breaths, grounding yourself, giving gratitude. Can you think of 3 things you're grateful for? Because when you're grateful, your heart opens. And that's how you do the best work. Think of 3 things you're grateful for. Give thanks to the heavens and the earth. And when you're ready, feeling connected, relaxed, and open, gently open your eyes and return to the room, taking as much time as you need. Mahalo.
Okay, so, gosh, we have like the highest suicide rates as a profession, and we kind of like all wonder why. And so we have to like look in our own life, which is what being married to Jane, who's a family counselor and couples counselors, I constantly can't get away with not looking at my wife or life. So, you know, we all strive to be the best of the best, which is not a bad thing. The best healers, we want to get more diplomas, more certificates, we want to know more modalities. We're constantly striving for excellence, right? We're constantly in our profession, we're striving for excellence. But we make choices in life, and how do you choose what you choose, the paths that you take in your life? Where does that come from? How do you make choices in your life? That's something that you look at, I look at. Do you seek guidance from your rational mind or inspiration or love? Where does your guidance come from? That would be something to look at. From where do you choose what you do when you make big decisions in your life? And how do you know what you've chosen is the correct path for you? These are some of the things that we'll be having you explore inside of yourself. And what's really important in your life right now? And what else is possible? Where you are right now in your life, what else is possible? Well, being a veterinarian, you know, it could be like build a new clinic or quit VCA and start out on your own. Do house calls. Quit surgeries and do what you really like to do. Sell your practice and do research or write a book. Now, some of the far out things that we have in our hearts, things that make our hearts sing, sometimes are kind of pushed down because we have a role to play, the veterinary role, which limits us in many ways. Probably this group is a little more less limited, but we are still limited by the word veterinarian, the words healer, the words acupuncturist, Chinese medicine person. And so beyond that, what is possible in your life? Who are you if you're not a veterinarian? If you're not a veterinarian, what else is left, right? So some of us are fathers, mothers, lovers. But what makes your heart sing?
I just wanted to comment on the phrase, what else is possible? When you ask yourself that question, how do you feel in your body? Can you feel the spaciousness? See, we're always trying to get to conclusion and get the answers. But once we get the answers, we put a period in the decision and all the possibilities are killed. So no matter what you're doing, if you ask yourself, even if you've come to a choice, what else is possible? You invite the universe's guidance in, and all the alternatives are available. So it's such a powerful phrase that Ihor is talking about. What else is possible?
Well, also, you were talking about what people do when they're on their deathbed and what they say and what they're talking about, what was missing in their life, and it's definitely not more work, right? And it's definitely not more patience, and it's definitely not more money.
Maybe some of this is a real pain in the butt. Maybe some of you saw on Facebook there was a study done with 100 people that were dying, terminally ill, in the process of dying, and they polled them and they asked them what their regrets were for their life, and it was really surprising because their regrets were not what they had done in their lives. Their regrets, 100% across the board, were what they didn't do, the dreams they didn't pursue, the inspirations they had. So that is a beautiful learning for us, and we can do it while we're still alive, not when we're dying. We can choose, and that's what our little exercise is about that you're going to do in a little while.
Well, do you want to introduce the exercise?
Are you done? Okay, well, stay with me.
The exercise is the most important
Well,
part.
yeah. Okay, but I'm going to have a little prelude to that, too.
Okay, you do it.
Okay. So I've been in private practice on Kauai for about 35 years, beyond therapy. I'm beyond traditional therapy. But I work with a lot of couples, individuals, and everyone usually comes in to see a therapist when there's some kind of dilemma, right? Or some kind of choice. Should I stay married or should I not? Should I change jobs or not? Should I move? So I always tell people, and people always look at me kind of weird, it's not so much you choose, but be aware of where you're choosing from. So that's what our main focus is today. I mean, how many of you go through the day and you hear a little voice whispering in your head and it says, call so-and-so, make this formula, go out to lunch here. And you're actually being guided all the time. But unfortunately, we're trained, and most of us have minds that tell us all the reasons why we can't. All the yes buts. You don't have enough time, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough knowledge, you don't even know how to write a book. How could you write a book? So we get stopped and our inspirations get killed. And that's what this little exercise is going to help you focus in on your perspective and where you're choosing the choices in life that are directing your life force. So if you have a piece of paper or a notebook or something, if you'll make it a left side and a right side.
Anybody need paper?
Okay, everybody got their paper and pen out? So, oh, we're still doing that.
Give them some time.
Anybody need more time? Okay, on the left side of your page, you're going to write down 1 to 15 things. Wait, first I have to give you your magic wand. You're going to become magical people that can have your dreams come true, and you can have anything you want. You are that powerful of a creator. I want you to write down 1 to 15 things now. Later I'm going to ask you to do 50, but 1 to 15 things that you've always dreamed of, that makes your heart sing, that makes you fulfilled, that you always wished you could just do that. Go to Hawaii and live. Write a book. Open a new clinic. Bring a new modality. Whatever it is that's your heart's desire, here's your magic wands. And go ahead and go crazy. Allow yourself to go way beyond where you really go. It doesn't have to make sense. This is not a rational thing, okay? We're going to get to the rational next. But right now, just let yourself dream. And because I live with a holistic veterinarian, actually one of the grandfathers of the holistic movement, I know how absorbing medicine can be. I know how, especially when your call and your mission in life is to be a veterinarian. I mean, this guy, you know how many things he does. It's crazy. But we still have to return to ourselves, and we still have to make ourselves first. So this is the beginning of that. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and if you get beyond 15, keep going. Because what happens is when you'll first write the familiar ones, and all of a sudden your inspiration is going to kick in, and there's going to be some really far out ones that are going to surprise you. So go ahead and take a few minutes and do that. Any questions about that? Any resistance to that?
When I first did this, it was really hard after the first 10. And then it was like, oh, can I really put this down on paper? Then maybe I have to do this. But it's kind of like your bucket list. You know, what is your bucket list without thinking about, oh, the reasons why not? Right now, just, or how much it costs. But basically, it's your dreams, your heart, things that make your heart sing. We might have like 3 things we think about all the time, but then beyond that, it's really kind of a revelation of yourself that's hiding inside you somewhere. Your wants and your needs and things that could really nurture you that have been maybe suppressed and pushed down. And writing really helps stimulate some internal processes, whereas just thinking about it gets you back into thinking about it. You also have proof. you have a document of your dreams that you should put on your wall.
And notice if it's easy for you to recall your dreams or if you feel kind of stuck, like, me? What do I want? And you're kind of stymied there because you're not used to thinking about what you want.
Yeah, I asked someone yesterday and said, well, I got everything I need, everything I want, everything I've ever wanted. Well, what else is possible? Don't stop there.
How many people have 15 done? How many people are at 15 already? Okay, we'll give you a couple more minutes. And if you're at 15, keep going. Keep going. What else is possible?
I need that.
Oh.
Talk.
Okay. Or maybe you're pleasantly surprised that you really are living your dreams and you don't have that many things left. Happens when you become an elder, right? Yep. Well, that's the whole point. And maybe you can share about that with us when we're done with this exercise. Okay, just finish up the one you're on. And I really encourage you, when you go back to your rooms or back to your life or on the airplane, keep adding to this list. And there's just this notice as you're writing down your dreams, what are you feeling in your body? How's your heart doing? Are there any that you're actually called to from guidance? So now we're going to leave the left side of the paper, and you're going to go to the right side of the paper. And across from all 15 things, you're going to write down the reasons why you can't. Cannot. What your mind tells you. Not enough time. Not enough money. What would people think if you did that? Anything that would stop you, that your mind comes in and actually becomes the thief that steals your dreams. So across from each inspiration and dream, write down the reasons why not, why you can't, impossible, or haven't so far. And we have some rock stars in the front here who don't have any reasons and don't have any dreams unfulfilled. And I'm going to pass the mic to them because they have the medicine. But let's go ahead and write down the reasons why not, because, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So the people that are having a hard time coming up with not having reasons why not have learned to not live from limitation. And the mind is not running their lives. The world has trained us to live from limitation and to the story that we're not enough and that we're not creators and powerful enough to have the lives of our dreams. It's a total lie. And just keep writing your reasons. But there's a couple people here that are just haven't stopped themselves, so hallelujah. I would imagine that you guys are pretty happy. And peaceful and fulfilled and live a life of service. Okay, when you're getting close to having all your reasons filled out on the right side, let me know by raising your hand, please. Okay, good. Anybody else need more time? Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to look at the left side of your page, and I want you to go into your body and feel what happens when you are writing out your dreams and giving your creative, inspirational part some energy and time and attention. Where do you feel the left side of your body where do you feel the left side of your page in your body? And just say it out loud. Where do you feel it? Where do you feel your dreams in your body? Okay, some people are saying heart. Sometimes people feel it like all over, chest, heart. Cool. And when you go to the right side of your page and you're reading all the reasons for why not, where do you feel that in your body? What are they saying?
Gut.
You feel it in your gut. That's interesting.
Head.
Yeah. You see, whether you choose to live from your head or your heart, this is an exercise to help you distinguish your perspective and where you're coming from. Because all the reasons why not are just thoughts. They're just thoughts that are running through your head. But most of us are trained to live as if that's the truth. And then we wonder why we feel suicidal or unhappy or depressed or not fulfilled or out of relationship with their spouse, not having sex. Okay? And here's a little trick, that your body is actually quite a teacher for you around this issue of inspiration, living your life from inspiration in your dreams versus your mind and the shoulds and the have-tos and the roles. When you have a choice to make, ask yourself, does it feel lighter or heavier? If it feels heavier in your body, it's a lie. If it feels lighter, you're probably operating from your inspiration. So what if you really could let go of the stagnancy in your life, the places you feel bogged down, depressed, and stuck in? What if you really could? Well, I challenge you guys to go home, do at least 50 things on each list, and then within the next month, give yourself 2 things from your list. And notice the energy of your life and how your joy shifts. And how heavy versus light you feel. Because I know the job of being a doctor and a veterinarian and all the responsibility that goes with it, it could just make us way at the end of the list. And we're not trained that way. They don't teach this in vet school. We're the only ones talking about this at this conference, I think. But that's because I live with this guy, and he's out of the box anyway. But imagine a life where you lived from joy, and you knew that you could create your dreams. And we have a couple people up front here that feel like they're already doing it. And I invite anybody to share, because you guys need to help each other, and you're all connected, and you're all in the same boat at some level, and you have a passion for healing and animals. And if you know something that works, like what's lighter or what's heavier, share it with your colleagues. That's what the elders retreat's about. Take time for yourself. Take time, value yourself. And I promise you, if you switch from creation to rational for the perspective you're living your life from, you'll make your money. You'll feel at peace. Those things fall in place. The universe is just waiting for you to ask. All those unseen beings we called in, those spirit animals, our ancestors. But here's a secret. They can't help you if you won't ask. You have to put your order in. When people come in and they're so lost, I said, well, have you asked for help from all the unseen beings? Oh, I didn't know, I forgot. Got to ask. They're just waiting there for help. So let yourself dream, let yourself imagine, give yourself the gift of a few of these things. I remember when we did it the first time, Ihor really supported me in doing something pretty outrageous, which was go to this seminar that I wanted to go to that I had already been in, and blah, 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 blah. And I went, but it wasn't just the process of going, it was that I valued myself, and I gave that gift to myself. I felt so happy and so free that week. It was just amazing. So I wonder if anybody has any comments, questions?
Well, sometimes, I just want to add, sometimes things aren't practical. And the practical part comes from the mind. It doesn't come from creation, inspiration, your guides. And sometimes or many times, we're just totally in our heads. And, meditating, whatever way, whatever form that you choose, I like to meditate in a bathtub. I'll run some water, put on some essential oils, and in the dark room, just be there. Feel my body. Hear all the crap in my head. Oh yeah, I got bills, and my landlord's an asshole, and all these things that we live with and we work our jobs with. All that stuff kind of like just goes away when you meditate. You don't make judgments. You just, oh yeah, I think that about my landlord. He's an asshole, but I'll just let that go. And anyhow, for me, being in the bathtub with warm water, I'm the kind of water creature, helps me let go, and then I feel my body, and then I go deeper, and then inspiration comes. It's amazing. Inspiration comes when you quiet your mind, and so we all look at ways how to quiet our mind. We all do it different. Some music, sounds, meditation, hot springs, and hot water for me.
How many people in here meditate? Great. I was a person who could never meditate because what Ihor said about stilling your mind, I never could get to that quiet. My mind was always working. And about a year ago, I started meditating for an hour every morning in a new way. And it's really simple, and I'm so excited to share this with you because all you do is close your eyes and watch the movie. So for me, the first thing that happens is my mind comes in and tells me, oh, you have to do this today. Oh, you got to talk to the vets. You got to get ready. You got to go da-da-da-da. So all that's the first round that comes through. But rather than me trying to stop my mind, I welcome my mind. I love my mind. I just let it be and give it my presence. And it is so cool because after about half hour or so, the deeper issues start coming up. The issues of my heart. The issues of things that I am being called to. I was told to give a seminar on graceful aging. I never wanted to do that, but I started getting the guidance. And what happened is like all these parts that we make our personalities become to survive and get through, when I would give them my attention, they were like fireworks. They would just like dissolve. And they would dissolve. And after about 3 to 6 months, my mind would chatter. All these parts would come forward and dissolve. And then I started to feel the ground of being, of the infinite being that I truly am, that we all are. And I started to really know, experience, know in my guts, not up here. I felt my connection to all there is, to God, to all the creatures, to all of you. We're all in this boat together. And so for me, trying to meditate, sit in a pose and do a mantra and get still, I just never could do that. So I invite you to this real, if you want to just learn to be in your heart and be with yourself at a deeper level, just drop in. And you'd be surprised. I never thought I could meditate for an hour. It goes like that. So that's just another little bit on meditation. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be really easy.
Would anybody like to share any experience? Just raise your hand. You don't. We're not going to make you do anything.
Somebody here.
Oh, you too.
Well, I just want to say that I really appreciate this. It's just amazing. And it's great validation for a lot of us who have aged and working on ourselves constantly and never-ending self-improvement. But my list seemed to include a lot of things. Now that I feel like I've gotten where I am, I want to share globally of what I've learned in my experience. And so I realize my list is all things that want to get me more exposure to that message. I've got a TV program. I've got write a series of books. I've got travel around presenting to groups about of vet students and people that really are in crisis right now. I want to have Paul McCartney want to meet me because that's my that's my childhood passion. But still, I mean, things like that. With the exception of the horse property, which is probably a luxury, everything else seems to be in that place. Now, what's stopping me? Time for the books, the series of books. And then the other is money, because trying to get the travel thing. So that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you.
Can I address that?
Oh yeah, sure.
So here's another trick. You can use the second side of the right side of your page to motivate you. So she wants to get the word out about healing for veterinarians globally. And her mind comes in and tells her, not enough time, not enough money. What if you used your time and money to motivate you to do your dream? So you can trick yourself and use the right side not to stymie and steal your dreams, but to actually motivate you to get your dreams. So that sounds like you have a calling. This is what I love about guidance. And then if she starts thinking about how she's going to do that, she's going to kill it because it's going to be impossible. But if she allows herself the gift of, I hear you, I'm being called globally, show me how, and go with the why of it, and the how will become clear. Do not let the how stop you. That's what kills your dreams.
Did you raise your hand?
Hi, Mark. Hi, Brother Mark.
Do you want to share?
Somebody over here.
He wants me to read it.
Oh, read what?
Number 3? Number 1. Number 1.
Why don't you read it? It's yours. You can't? Okay. Relates in his. Number 1. I am an energetic supernova right now, so I can't but speak. I can't speak. He's so in the moment, he has no voice. But can you feel his energetic transmission to this room? He's giving us all his right in this moment, and it's true for all of us. Supernova, rock star, right now, he claims it. And it takes his voice away. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. His intention is clear. Oh, more.
Oh,
Wants
more. Okay.
Now what? Number 2? Okay, relates to his meditation. John Kabat-Zinn relates in his meditation for beginners CD. Oh, he's giving you, if you want to know a place to how to begin meditating, he's telling you something. Okay, and shall I read this whole third one also? This dude's on a roll. After 35 years of continuous sign up to sundown teaching 7 days a week, Buddha was asked what he could tell people. He said, I know nothing. Let go of self. Read Interview with an Angel. Start at page 156. Visit Stephen Thaler's Center of Being website. So he's bubbling over. He has no voice, but he gets someone else to help him. It's great. Scroll down here.
Thank you again. I think what was so important with respect to how to meditate, and some people it comes across differently, and I can't meditate, I can't quiet my mind. For me, I'm a singer-songwriter and a musician, and so for me, I say to people, I don't do breathing exercises, I don't do yoga, but I write songs and I get in the moment through music. So there are different outlets, and I think it's very important to experience those and find what works for you. It doesn't have to be one way of meditating. What brings you, what centers you, and what gets you to the moment, and what brings you that joy. So I appreciate you. Well, one of the lyrics out of one of my songs is, "Don't trust your mind, trust your heart." So ironically, don't trust your mind, trust your heart.
Thank you. Anybody else want to share? Oh, this is great. We should be sitting in a circle, but it wouldn't work in a square room. You want to?
I have two things to say. All right. Can you hear me now? All right, perfect. I have two things to say. So the first thing I say to people who say that they can't meditate because their mind's just too crazy with thoughts, I tell people, well, that's like saying I can't go to the gym because my muscles are weak. So you meditate so that you can train your mind to quiet. So there's many ways to do it. The second thing I was going to say is, for those of us who do meditate frequently, we've been able to separate out our thoughts from ourselves. And so we know when we are not our thoughts, we know we are not our fears. Something that you can do meanwhile, sorry, I'm kind of nervous, public speaker. Something you can do meanwhile to be able to disassociate yourself from any fears or worries you may have is take everything on the right side of your sheet, and any fears or worries you have, you can just love that. I'm worried about money, and just say, and I'm in love with that. Just after each and everything, and I love that. I'm really worried about money, and I love that. I'm really worried about my job, and I love that. I'm very stressed out right now, and I love that. And you'll be able to disassociate yourself and realize that you are not those thoughts.
Thank you. That was a good one. That was one of the pieces that we wanted to bring, and you brought it. Don't just talk.
Hi, everyone. So I'm new to this society, and through this reflection that we're having right now, there's a point that came to me that one of my friends once told me, well, after you're 40 years old, something comes to your mind and you start wondering what in life, brings you more joy. And we question that. And is it just our profession? What else can we do? What else are we looking for? And how can we help? How can we help from our, the next person right to me, or to a much bigger vision? And through this journey, I happened to meet a lot of veterinary students, and I actually saw a pattern that we already know that we are the highest, professional that commit suicide, right? So as I'm dealing with very young students starting veterinary school, I see a trait in the personality, okay? And it made me think that if we're here in a holistic society meeting, we already accomplished something more than just being that young veterinarian that is just looking to succeed because they were the best at that time. So it makes me feel like we all already got a little bit of a light ahead of that group. And so we could start, just first of all, we're being asked here to look what we want for ourselves. But I think we can also look at our colleagues that work right next to us and see how we can help them, because they may not be seeing that light that we're already seeing. And this becomes a big mission for us as a group, as a community, that we can make this world better. And that's what I feel like I have to say.
Thank you. So we're out of time, but I just wanted, okay.
You want to say first?
I just wanted to say that you can't heal unless you heal yourself first. And that's one of the reasons the Council of the Elders has a retreat once a year. So heal the healer, which is you. Focus on yourself, because if you're not in good shape, you're not going to be a great healer, because you're falling apart.
I love the comments, and I just wanted to say the mind is not the enemy. The mind got you through vet school. The mind helps you balance your checkbook. But what we want to do is put them in harmony with the mind and the heart and use them both, and not have the mind be the source that extinguishes and kills your dream.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for being here and looking deeper and just being wonderful as you are naturally wonderful. Thank you.